What?
Listen closely, freak. I'm going to ask you about the syndicate and you're going to answer me.
Are you high? That must be psycho talking. Go take some fixer, see a doc, but don't talk to me again until your head is screwed on straight, or I'll knock it the fuck off. What?
You're connected.
Maybe. What of it?
I need to find Zimmer.
I don't know anyone named Zimmer. Even if I did, why would I tell you?
I tend to kill people who offend me. Tell me about Zimmer before I get upset.
Fuck you and your delicate sensibilities. But hey, if you're feeling brave, make a move. You'll bring the whole Thorn down on you. Do what you feel.
Fuck. The fucking
What?
Thorn? Fine. If the feeds found out that the syndicate is just using them, things could get ugly.
Hold on. That's a serious
Yeah,
accusation.
you thought about that, bitch.
I just want the dope and caps to flow freely, not rampaging fiends. Look, I don't know Zimmer. I never met him. But I know a guy who can tell you. His name's Chase. He's shocked up in Gomorrah. Chase is a heavy hitter. Muscle for the syndicate. He's got his own room. Here, I'll point it out on your map. In case you're wondering, I don't know you, and you don't know me. Don't speak to me again and never mention my name in this.
I'd remember if I had seen you here before. I'm sure of it. What do you want?
What is this place?
The clamor of our bloodthirsty crowds reaches every corner of the wasteland. But I'll pretend that your ignorance doesn't offend me, stranger. This is the Thorn. Here's where the strong make a name for themselves, and the weak are fed to the jaws of hell. You can bet on the contenders. Or, if you have what it takes, be one of the contenders. Be warned. The Thorn demands respect. Break the rules, or offend me in any way, and I'll gut you open for all to see.
You don't scare me, but I will talk to you later.
So long, stranger.
Get the fuck out of here. These bitches really think I'm scared of this bitch. Like, fuck up my fucking face, bro. Where the fuck are we? Good!
Take that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to see, huh, boss?
What are you talking about?
That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past.
Oh, from the boomers. Nah, Loyal's using his years of knowledge to help his tribe. I think that's a good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
What's on your mind?
Old history, boss. I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of Tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench. And I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick.
Go on.
Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off.
What happened then, man?
About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, My parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters all died.
Dude, what happened?
Rafael and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home. But I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge.
You can't think it was your fault. No one could stand against a dozen armed men alone like that.
I know that,
at the
boss.
time.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Sorry, Rob. Shit, you should travel
Over-elaborate mob schemes to take over Vegas. Reminds me of the days before the war.
Alright, let's go.
What can I do for you?
Joshua Graham.
Come in. Make yourself comfortable. There's no strangers on the 3rd floor. Besides, it'll be nice to have some company. The Omertas, they gave us the whole floor, so it gets a little lonely up here. I wasn't sure if I'd actually get to meet you. I guess it's something of an honor, all things considered. Most of the outfit calls me Tony. Well, Mr. Chase. I know you're the, courier or whatever. What's your real name, pal? Oh, one of those, are ya? You imagine yourself the, strong silent type. In my experience, it's a fucking rarity. Most of the mutes I've known are idiots or psychopaths. Of course, you have to consider our working environment. I'm gonna get to the point, kid. The hell are you doing here? Is this about Zimmer? The loot? Thought we had an agreement.
Zimmer fucked himself when he played with my life. I'm nobody's puppet.
That's just fucking dumb. We all answer to somebody, kid. Even Zimmer answers to... Well, he answers to somebody you don't want to meet. It can only end 2 ways. Either you walk away or you get buried in the fucking desert again. And this time, you don't come back. You've got heart, kid, but that ain't enough. You don't realize what you're up against. You only think you do.
Trust me, I've survived a lot worse than your stupid ass fucking group.
Since you won't fucking listen, well, fuck you! Used to be a prize fighter up in Reno, heavyweight, real contender. Got into this job because I could break someone down with my hands. There was always work, because I just knew where to hit a man to make him cry like a little fucking girl and beg for mercy. And that's what I'm gonna do to you. Just when you think it can't get any worse, that's when the real pain's gonna start. No, I won't kill you, but I'm gonna break you into tiny little fucking pieces that can't be put back together. You'll be eating food through a straw and bragging in Freeside sucking cock for cash. That's where you're headed, shit for brains. You fucking mute motherfucker, you.
Oh, you bitch ass nigga. Sit your bitch ass down. You better sit your bitch ass down right now. I was gonna let him get the first move. Can you imagine? This weak ass nigga. Get the fuck out my face.
I just had a great
Nigga talk all that shit.
Big on a sausage.
Tony, I'm sending more muscle your way this week. The front outside North Vegas is working out nicely. I figured we keep the name since St. Peter's is too good to pass up. Besides, I don't like offending high powers. If Courier 6 shows up Be tactful and bide your time. We can take care of the courier, then we've got a better foothold in town. Right now, the priority is selling protection to West Side, which is a hot commodity since we've got the feed stirred up. Keep working to marry this. It's just a matter of time before they observe them. Our employee is expecting results after recent setbacks in the Mojave. No excuses, Zimmer. Alright, fuck you. You about to die though. Let's go, let's go.
Got you now. He's there.
Bitch. Damn it, huh? Bitch. Stupid.
Paulie, you need to cut up the smoke break. Fuck me, it's you.
Go.
That should have been avoided.
Joshua, you're not gonna keep saying that every time I kill someone.
Easy, courier. No ambuscades down here. Have a seat if you like. We have a lot to talk about. I'm curious as to what brought you here. I've heard so many stories, but please, forgive my fascination. I seldom get to meet a legend.
You seem awfully relaxed for a man who's about to die.
You're half right, courier. I am relaxed, but I'm not afraid to die. That's what makes me strong. Equanimity. I always liked that word.
Bro, God, can we just get this over with?
Patience. I know you're not that brash, otherwise you'd come in lobbing grenades. You're smarter than that. I'm new to the Mojave, so I've made it a priority to familiarize myself with the history, politics, players. Somehow, your name keeps coming up. I've been wanting to meet you for some time, really. It's another reason I didn't gas you in that vault. It would have been unseemly. I knew that cowing you would be a challenge. Odds were that you would show up here. I was looking forward to this. A worthy opponent. An opportunity to make my own name while letting you pass. With dignity. Who would cross the man who killed Courier 6? Has a ring to it, like one of those pre-war Western films.
I've killed worse than you, Zimmer. You think you're tougher than the judge?
Ha! I heard that story, the judge. So you killed that towering pervert. Good for you. The Honorable Judge Richter, who spent his days frolicking with slave boys, playing Guess What's Under Uncle Touchy's Top Hat. Hardly impressive. Besides, that old pederast was past his prime. Who else? Fiends? Local tough guys? I doubt you broke a sweat. You see, my employer has rewarded my service to the organization. I've done well. It's interesting what people do with wealth. Some invest.
Hold on, yeah.
Others blow it on booze, pussy, passing pleasure. Me, I buy implants. Not comfortable going in, but so good once they're settled. One of my implants regulates cardiovascular performance, and it's been tweaked for a specific purpose. When I have it activated, it can operate as sort of a fail deadly switch, connected to explosives and whatnot. Incidentally, I have the loot surrounded by high explosives. If I die, my implant will trigger enough C4 to bury every lick of gold in there. Now, maybe you don't care about the gold, and that's fine. But if you do, then listen closely. I will turn off my implant signal if you agree to fight me on my terms with a katana. If you win, then you get the gold. Otherwise, nothing.
Why do you keep saying my employer? Just say his name.
I call him my employer because to say his name is forbidden, an offense punishable by death. I am personally acquainted with him. He trained me in the exquisite art of the samurai sword. I am his greatest pupil.
You know how many self-proclaimed badasses I've killed? How are you any different?
I'm not afraid to die, courier. I respect God, but I don't count on his help. I know my end, and I'm at peace with it. The real question is whether or not you realize where you're headed. It doesn't matter how many badasses you kill, how tough you think you are. One day, you'll make a mistake, be negligent, or just get old. I like reading old books, pre-war stuff. Ever heard of Bill Hickok? Killed all sorts of people in his day. You know how he died? It wasn't some grand duel in the street, an epic showdown with a worthy opponent. Some dreg, a bottom-feeding asshole, just walked into a saloon and popped Hickok in the back of the head. Payback for killing his brother. If you're lucky, courier, you'll die here, with a sword in your hand, killed by a proper foe. You might get old, die in your bed. But more than likely, some punk will wait till you're drunk, high, or just distracted, and then they'll strike. A warrior's death is the best you can hope for, and I'm offering it.
Give me that katana.
Very well. I'll store your weapons in a nearby locker. I've got the key on my person. In the off chance you best me, you'll be using this katana. Let's go somewhere with a little more room.
Then I get dead, y'all.
Yourself.
Where's my katana? Where the fuck is my katana? Why do I... Crazy. That is... Yep, I am too inexperienced. Yep, get beat, bitch. You dumb fuck. Dumbass. And give me that. You got defeated Zimmer in single comp. Thereby getting access to Celis adherents. The full effects of Zimmer's deaths are uncertain, but you have stiffed the Syndicate's presence in the Mojave for now. That's great. That is amazing. Zimmer, I understand you made considerable progress in your short time in the Mojave. I knew I could count on you. However, I received word that you allow Tysengan to escape certain death. You should never hesitate to finish an opponent, particularly one like Tysengan. I trust in your ability, but do not make the same mistake twice. I put you in New Vegas because I trust you, and because you're capable. Prove me right. Take care of yourself, attend to your duties, and soon enough you'll find yourself in a powerful position. You're like a son to me. I only want to see you succeed. One final matter. Do you have any information on the individual known as Marco? I've been vexed by the paucity of the reliable data concerning his motives and whereabouts. Some report he is still in the plains, while others say he is running a town in the mountains of Utah. It's difficult to imagine the best fitting into the civilized setting. This is all hearsay, mind you. That's why I need hard proof of his whereabouts, as I believe it's crucial to make contact and ascertain his intentions. He has quite a reputation, but if he tries to oppose or undermine our interests, we will crush him. It's a dangerous time we're living in, my boy. Our bred outlaws and self-righteous vigilantes, all with no regard for civilization or our shared humanity. In time, we'll bend them to our needs. If they don't blend, we will break them. It starts with Tysengan. Do what must be done. Sincerely, K? K?
Hope you didn't mind the big kiss.
I'm flattered, Willow, but I like to stay friends with you.
Okay, I'll be sure to save all my affection for special occasions.
We still need a contractor on our Vault 22 project. Interested?
Yes, tell me about it.
Wonderful. Straight to it then. Have you signed the release forms? No? Doesn't matter. We'll keep that to ourselves. Vault 22. Where to begin?
Save the sales pitch. Just tell me, bro.
All right. Straight to the point. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlocked the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Okay.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Anything else I should know?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
Okay, bro.
Best of luck to you. Not that you'll need it. You seem like a reasonably competent person.
I am.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but... Did he give you a job?
Why so interested?
Not interested. More concerned. It's just... You're not the first person he sent to Vault 22, and I know he'd never tell you. There were a lot of mercs, one after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual, not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
No, Hildern didn't mention anyone else.
But now he's hired you, which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich, not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc, but I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Alright, I'll look for her.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
Alright.
Right, good luck.
I am so glad you're with me. I'd hate to be here all alone.
Let's go. Okay, can you get out of my way? Thank you. Bye.
Took your sweet time. I suppose the NCR sent you?
Yes, Angela Williams asked me to come find you.
She's such a dear. Not like that pompous little pedant she works for. But that's neither here nor there. These plants have gotten completely out of control. I've got a
see
plan to deal with them, but I'll need your help.
How much are you paying?
So, you're one of those, huh? Fine. I'll give you all the money I have once we're done. Meet me on the second level, and I'll explain more.
One of those, huh? Get damn right. Like, what do you think I am?
Good, you're here. Ready to begin?
Sure.
Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. This place is filled with spores that are toxic to humans, and we need to get rid of them. I've pumped the vault full of a highly flammable gas that, once ignited, should destroy the vast majority of spores. There's one problem, though. The gas becomes semi-inert on exposure to oxygen, meaning the gas will have to be ignited close to where it's being introduced. I need you to find the vents where the gas is being pumped and ignite it. Oh, and survive the resulting blast.
You're out of your mind.
I'd love to debate you on this, but there's no time. Now do it or don't, but stop wasting my time.
Okay.
Good. Return to me when it's done.
We'll be back.
Grenade!
My God. Dang. Asalamasolaboма. Keely.
Ah, good. You survived. I was beginning to think you hadn't. You'll be pleased to know that the spores should no longer be a problem. Now all that's left is to ensure that none of this ever happens again. The research that led to these abominations must be erased.
What needs to be done?
I've managed to create a connection to the Vault's backup system from here. I just have to remotely delete all the files, and we're done here.
Will it take long?
No, it shouldn't take all that long. Just a few more moments, and that's strange. The system says that the files were accessed recently and copied to an external source. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
I copied the files Hildren sent me here to get them.
Yes, that sounds like something he'd do. Well, there's nothing for it then. Those files need to be erased. Hold out your arm and I'll have it done in a flash.
Deleting those files make it more likely that this will happen again.
How do you figure that?
Science isn't just about success. Failures are just as important to learn from.
I suppose the data here could serve as a warning to other scientists. Tell them what paths of research not to follow.
Exactly. Without that knowledge, something similar to is bound to happen.
Alright. You convinced me. Take the files back to that buffoon. You make a good point. But I still honestly hope you know what you're doing. I've unlocked the door, so you're free to run along now. Although it pains me to say it, I wouldn't have made it out of here without your help. If you're heading back toward McCarran, tell Dr. Williams that she has my thanks as well.
Already? I don't know.
Keely just called in. You should have heard the director. But wait up. Now look here. She wouldn't let him finish a sentence. Just reamed him out for sending all those people to the vault. I've never seen his face so red and twitchy. Thanks for keeping her safe. Here's the caps I promised. I knew I had a good feeling about you.
I received a pleasant call from Dr. Keeley. It seems we have you to thank for keeping her alive. Very charitable of you.
About the data from Vault 22.
Wonderful. Excellent work. Let me see it. It'll take a moment to decode on my terminal.
By the way, the vault was fucking dangerous and annoying.
I don't see how that's relevant. The dangers of the vault were your business, not mine. The only question is whether the data is still intact. I think
You're a
Williams'
bitch, bro.
decryption algorithms seem to be working. Yes, here it is. The data is mostly uncorrupted. This will make the board of directors finally sit up and take notice. Here then, as promised, an agreeable sum payable upon delivery of the data. You've more than done your part.
I'd be careful with that data. You didn't see those plants in the vault.
Your concerns are perfectly understandable, but I assure you, they're entirely misplaced. We would never use technology that wasn't fully tested. We aren't some motley band of vault alchemists. We're with the government, for goodness sake. Have a little faith in us.
Yeah, I got that motherfucking cream now. Yo.
Hey, good to see you. Alive, that is. Have you found all of the components yet?
Yeah, all right here.
Really? Wow, that's fantastic. I knew you could do it all along. I'll get right to work installing these. Why don't you go tell the Elder the good news? I'm sure it'll be a huge load off of his shoulders.
Back again, I see. Have you found all the components we need?
I did. Lorenzo's on it.
Good news for a change. Your efforts have humbled me, outsider. You have done more than I could have ever expected, even for my brothers. Moreover, I've been going over the scouting reports, and I keep coming up with the same conclusion. The NCR is not the threat I believed them to be. I believed my actions were guided by caution and prudence, but I now see the truth. People called me a hero after what happened at Helios, but I left that battle scarred by fear. I've allowed that weakness to govern my actions. That ends now. I will undo the harm I've done. I will lift the lockdown. With luck, we will once again flourish. I realize this isn't much, but I'd like to give you a small token of my thanks. It's all I'm allowed to give to an outsider. This key will allow you to use our safe house in the Northeast. I hope you find it helpful.
Is that it?
Greetings, my friend. How may I help you?
Tell me about the lockdown.
It's a protective measure that was enacted after our defeat at Helios. The NCR was hot on our heels, and we wouldn't have survived another encounter. It was decided that we should stay quiet for a time, heal the wounded, and try to come up with a new strategy. However, after we had fully recuperated, the NCR's presence in this region had only increased in our absence. There are now more than 5 times the number of NCR troops in the area. Also, we now only have half the number we did at Helios. So, the lockdown has been extended. To go outside would be certain death.